Hi, and welcome to the Butler Buzz. I'm your host, Kate Stutz, and I'm sitting here with Deneen O'Donnell from Avenge Hunger. Deneen, how are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you, Kate? It's good to see you again.
It's good to see you too. I miss seeing you in person. So can you tell us about Avenge Hunger, please?
I would love to. Avenge Hunger is Armstrong's initiative to help feed the people within our communities within the footprint of Armstrong. And we've been doing this for a long time. This is our 10-year anniversary.
Oh, wow.
And,
Congrats.
it's hard to believe it's gone by really fast. And there are over 37 million people within the United States alone who are considered food insecure, meaning that they're not getting enough food. And so Armstrong has been passionate about trying to find ways to collect food. Our Breaking Bread initiative has a four-prong approach. We collect food, we collect money, we volunteer, and we try to create awareness within the community.
And I think you do a great job with all four of those things too.
We work really hard at it. And, I always use the same line, but I always say that like volunteering is kind of like exercising. You really don't want to do it, but once you make yourself do it, you feel so good when you're done.
Right.
And so
it's rewarding.
It's just rewarding, and you meet new people. And if you've never done it, and with our 10th anniversary this year, over the past 10 years, we've helped to feed over 200 community food programs. And this is not just in Butler, this is in all the footprint that Armstrong reaches, some in different states and things. And so there's just a lot of ways that we've come up for people to help us reach these goals.
Wow, that is amazing. You've helped a lot of people. So that we're talking like beyond Butler County and beyond Pennsylvania also.
Yes. And I'll speak mostly about some of the things we've done in Butler.
Okay.
But every local office for Armstrong, in any city that there's a local Armstrong office, you can walk into that office and you will find a little shopping cart, and you can make a donation of a non-perishable food item. Doesn't even have to be food. It can be something like diapers, hygiene items, paper products.
Okay.
Things like that.
All the necessary things, right?
Anything
that are non-perishable.
Exactly. Things that you would buy when you go to the grocery store.
Like just toiletries and
exactly.
Shampoo.
And you can make a monetary donation at the office also. And one of the things that I want to tell people right now is, as we all know, with COVID-19, it's really changed the face of people who are using food banks and food pantries and going to community dinners. These days we've had a lot of people who have had jobs, they've lost their job, or they've had one income go away in their family. And so you're seeing people at the food banks that they're busier, and they may be the people next door that you might think are doing well, but they're struggling because they've lost that one income.
Right. I mean, it seems like one surprise after another during this pandemic.
It absolutely is.
It's very unpredictable from one day to the next.
That's right. Now, one of the things I'll tell you that we've been doing is September is National Hunger Awareness Month. So every September, Armstrong makes that our Avenge Hunger Month. And what we do is we try to pay special attention to raising money during the month of September. Now, what we're doing right now is we have a virtual 5K going on. And we also did this in the spring, and we were able to raise a lot of money over the last 2 years with the virtual 5K and with other things we've done for Avenge Hunger. Over the past 2 years, we've raised over 82,000 pounds of food and over $25,000 for Breaking Bread just during Avenge Hunger time.
Wow. That's impressive.
Yeah, it's really cool. And if you have not done a virtual 5K, it is too late to register for ours now, but I do encourage people to go to our website, armstrongonewire.com/breakingbread, where you can go to our Facebook page and look up the Breaking Bread events under there. And you
Okay.
can still donate to the 5K, and the 5K is going on in all of our Armstrong communities. So you can go online and make a donation that way, or as I said, walk into your local office, make a donation at your office. Anytime you see a Butler employee at an event, you can give them a donation of a food item or something then, and we can make sure that it gets to the right place. So
Oh, that is
there's lots of
wonderful.
ways to help. One other important thing, Kate, is volunteering. People,
Right.
like I said, you don't, it's hard to push yourself out the door sometimes. Two of the places that we help here in Butler are Katie's Kitchen or the Butler County Food Bank. And it's very simple. It might be helping to prepare food. It might be just helping to carry the bagged lunches out to the car. At the food bank, they're always looking for volunteers to help box up the food. And I can tell you that some of these places are hurting right now for volunteers, especially because many people are still afraid to go out and about.
Right.
It's always very
They're still
safe.
distancing.
Yeah, and these places are still very social distance. For instance, the community meals used to go inside the church and sit down, but now they're bagging the lunches and you can carry them and it's like takeout.
It's like takeout only. Okay.
Exactly. So you still feel safe. I've volunteered and I still feel safe. I don't feel like I wear my mask and people wear their masks but volunteering, is a great way for people who maybe feel they can't financially help. And they
Right. You
just
can
give
still
the
donate your
time.
time.
Exactly. So I encourage people to reach out to their local food banks and ask what they can do to help, and I'm sure they'll give you some ideas.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I think that's great. And it's a good way to start too, to help out your community right where you live.
Yeah. Get a boost in the holiday giving spirit. And
Sure, definitely.
we do our hunger event during September, but I should tell you that we do collect food and money all year long. So any time of the year, you can walk into a local office and make a donation because they get a lot of donations at Christmas, but sometimes after the holidays go away, people think, oh, we're good now, and they're not as generous. You need to keep giving and keep helping.
Anytime is a good time to help out.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I'll tell you one thing that's also helped us in the Butler system is community partners. We've had some great relationships with the Butler County Radio Network. They throw the event Men Who Cook.
Oh, right.
Different people from the community cook, and it's lots of fun to watch them, cook their celebrity dishes, and it still helps St. Vincent de Paul.
Right. That was a really fun event.
Yeah, it's just fun. You get to taste all this food, and I don't know what they'll be able to do this year, but I'm sure they'll plan something. People are coming up with creative ways.
People are getting very creative, very clever. Yeah.
Exactly. And we've even had events at the Butler Starlight Drive-In, the drive-in movie theater, and that's always fun too. They will collect food donations at the gate when you go to see a movie, and we've had a fabulous summer for going to see outdoor movies. And we also partner with the County of Butler. County of Butler has helped team up with us every year during Avenge Hunger, and they get their employees to bring in donations, and then they pass them on to us. So there's just a lot going on, lots of ways we can help.
That's great you have so much support, because it is needed. Definitely.
Yeah, and the more the merrier. So,
exactly.
I encourage people when they go to the grocery store, you're there anyways, just maybe pick up one or two more items. Just
every little bit helps. Sure. Yep. Every little bit helps, definitely.
Exactly. So,
well, thank you so much, Deneen, for being on the show tonight and giving us all this great info.
It is my pleasure. And like I said, I encourage everyone to just keep giving because as we all have to help our neighbors.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much, Deneen.
You're welcome. Good to see you again, Kate.
Good to see you too. We'll be right back with our next guest.
Hunger exists in every county in America. More than 1 in 5 children are at risk. Armstrong continues to create awareness in our communities through Breaking Bread,
COVID-19 has affected food banks in a lot of different ways. The one word I could use to describe it most accurately would be an increase. There's an increased need for food, there's an increased need for volunteers, and there's also an increase in the general need in the communities.
Visit ArmstrongOneWire.com/breakingbread for more information.
Hi, and welcome back. I'm sitting here with Kristen Kane, who is doing Ghouls For Good through Butler County Young Professionals. Kristen, how are you?
Good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So I'm so excited to hear about Ghouls For Good. So this is my first time, and I'm sure other people's first time about hearing about it. So can you tell us a little bit about how you got it started?
Yeah, we actually started in 2015, so this is really exciting that this is our 5th year. Basically, I just had the idea just kind of pop into my head, and I went to Stan at the chamber, and I ran it by him, and he gave me a prolonged moment of silence. And I was like, oh, this is a terrible idea. What was I thinking? And then he said he loved the idea, and we've just grown ever since. So the first year we just collected costumes and then donated them to CYS. And that year we received, I think, about 300 costumes. So at this point, 5 years later, we've gotten over 1,000 costumes from the community.
Wow, that has really grown.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. That's really helping a lot of kids out there.
Yeah.
So tell me about how you went about getting the costumes and how people go about donating.
Well, Butler Eagle, they usually run an ad for us, and then Armstrong helps us out also. So thank you for that. Armstrong this year they gave us a very generous donation towards buying costumes for the kids. But we just have flyers, and then we run it through the chamber. We share it on social media, and we ask people to donate the costumes. And we've had a great response. We do also accept monetary donations.
Sure. So how do you go about getting the costumes? Like if a family had some small children, maybe wanted to go about doing that, how would they contact someone?
Well, what we do typically is we work with specific nonprofit organizations. So as I had mentioned, we have worked with Butler County CYS in the past, Children and Youth Services. So we've, since they've been with us since the beginning, we work with them every year. And then we've also worked with the Butler County YMCA and the Kids Weekend Backpack Program.
Okay.
So we've worked with them. But if anyone ever needs a costume, we will donate. Just get in touch with us, and we'll absolutely make sure that every child has a Halloween costume.
Right.
Typically what we do is we would send these organizations a little certificate, and it would just say, hey, come down to wherever we'd be hosting the drive and get your costume. And then we'd always donate to the siblings also. But this year with COVID, we kind of had to adjust to things like everyone else. So this year we actually have a request form for the children. So they're going to fill out their size and their top 3 costume choices. And then we are going to go into our inventory and pick whatever we have available, or we'll go into our funds and purchase whatever costume that they would like.
Oh, that's a great idea.
The past few years, we've set up in the Butler County Cubs Hall, Butler County Blind Association, and then the Clearview Mall actually let us use space one year.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great that, it's kind of an event. Like it's not just something that, you get a costume, you make it an actual event for the kids.
Oh yeah, we try to decorate our store a little bit for them too. We put some decorations around.
Oh, that's cool. And you include the siblings also. That's so important.
It is. It's hard because, how do you give one child a Halloween costume and then the other child doesn't get one? So,
right.
We've gotten to the point where we know that we're able to supply the siblings as well.
Right. And that's great that, you're able to be so generous. So what's the best way to support you right now? Like, what is the best way to do it safely? Especially because we unfortunately don't know what's going on with Halloween this year. Everything seems to change pretty quickly, and then also change just day to day. So we're just trying to gear up for Halloween. I know my kids are really excited for it, but they're also anticipating, maybe not doing what they normally do. So.
Well, I did just see today that Butler Township did approve trick or treat.
Oh, cool.
So then it said, I read something that the city is going to kind of follow what everyone else is doing in Center Township as well. So we'll see what happens with that. But
right.
to actually COVID related. So Germinator, which is a new company in Butler, they have so graciously donated their services to us to disinfect all the costumes that have been used that are going out to children.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That
so
is a
that was
great
really nice.
idea.
Yeah, it was
And
so
that's
nice of them
perfectly
to do.
fitting for what you're doing.
Absolutely. So, people don't have to worry about any germs on the costumes because Germinator is going to take care of that for us. But to get the costumes to us, we take gently used costumes. You can purchase new ones and get them to us. And you can drop them off at Clearview Federal Credit Union.
Okay.
They've been a huge help to us. They promote our cause and they market for us, which is awesome. And then you can also drop the costumes off at Spring Hill Suites by Marriott. That's where the children will be picking up this year.
Okay. All right, great.
And we would need them all by October 9th.
October 9th. Okay. So you can either purchase or donate a costume to those places by October 9th.
Yeah, and we are actually a 501c3 organization through the Butler County Chamber of Commerce. So if anyone would want to make a monetary donation, that can be sent to New Visions for Butler at 120 Hollywood Drive, Suite 101, Butler, PA 16001.
Okay. Yeah, it's always good to have those options too.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Kristen. And this is a fantastic event that you're putting on for the kids this year and, the other years before. I'm glad to see it's growing so much and you're doing a really good job.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Definitely. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Kristen.
All right. Thank you.
We'll be right back with our next guest.
Armstrong.
I've been hearing a lot about the new Zoom experience.
Yep, Zoom now includes enhanced Wi-Fi, advanced security features, and complete control with the Plume app.
Okay, but can you cut off internet access to your kids' devices at the touch of a button when they won't get off their tablets and do their homework?
Yes, you can. Studying or working from home? Armstrong's new and enhanced Wi-Fi, supercharged by Plume, will keep you connected. Zoom, internet made easy.
Hi, and welcome back. I'm sitting here with Linda from the Gaiser Center. Linda, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
My pleasure.
So tell us about the Gaiser Center.
Okay, well, next June we'll be celebrating 50 years in Butler, which is the industry itself is pretty young, so that's a very long time.
Congratulations.
Doing drug and alcohol treatment. So that's what we do. We do drug and alcohol treatment. We have inpatient and outpatient, both in Butler. The inpatient is gender specific. There's no, the gentlemen are in one location of the campus and the women are on another location. And people really like that. It goes very well.
Right. It seems to keep it more seamless.
Yes, it does. A lot more focus on treatment issues. I mean, people have a lot of issues, very specific to a lot of trauma. We see a lot of trauma. We see a lot of family issues.
So you guys offer healing in all different aspects of their life.
We do. We are a trauma-informed agency. So we try to keep people safe. And we have a very nice, clean facility with a lot of beautiful flowers, and it's very welcoming here. And that's at the inpatient. On the outpatient, we are down on Liberty Street, and it's very pretty as well. But I think that's the most important thing, is to be welcoming to people who you just might be meeting them on what could be one of the worst days of their lives.
Exactly. So you want something welcoming and something soothing and something that they feel very comfortable and safe.
Yes, and we're very client-centered. We really want to find out what, everybody, Kate, everybody has a story.
Right.
We all have a story. And I think it's really important to listen to those stories, because they're going to tell you everything you need to know. So if we spend more time trying to get them to listen to us initially, then they'll listen to us once we develop a relationship. But I want to hear where you've been. I want to hear what has happened to you. And I would like to hear how you think you can be helped.
Right. And there are some really serious stories out there too, people need to be, helped with. And something that, we were wondering if you could talk about for a little bit is, during the COVID pandemic, how have statistics changed a little bit with, the usage and?
Well, COVID has been, as everybody knows, and I have to always remind myself that we're not the only ones that are going through this this time. But COVID has been extremely challenging for the Gaiser Center as well as other drug and alcohol facilities. We are essential, so we've been open the entire time. It's been very nerve-wracking with the staff because they don't know. We really didn't know what to do. I mean, no one did. So we worked really hard with some medical people to get good, safe practices in. But statistically, our census has been down. And part of it is it's just been slow getting started with the COVID, getting back up with COVID. And the other part of it is we are social distancing our clients. We're thinning out their space. People are being quarantined when they come in. We're getting them COVID tests so that we know they're safe. And the staff is very cautious. I don't have it on now, but we wear masks all day at work. I took it off right now because I'm right on myself, but we do wear them all day long, mainly to protect our clients.
Right. Because when you get somebody new in, you don't know, what they've been dealing with. So that's also another thing is that, with all the new restrictions, it makes healing so much slower because of all the rules you have to follow. So, I mean, that's a challenge you guys face too.
Oh, it's been challenging. But I think the biggest challenge for our population who are struggling, our clients, first of all, are so high risk of death.
Right.
And it's not.
It's serious.
Yeah. It's as you know, there's been multiple overdose deaths. And at this time, due to COVID, I mean, there's been a huge spike in overdose deaths throughout the state of Pennsylvania. That's all I can speak of right now. But I do know that from one report I've heard across the state, overdose deaths are up like 46%.
That is significant.
It's very significant. And in Butler County, I just checked with the coroner's office before the phone call. And right now we have 46 confirmed and 6 pending. So generally when they're pending, they become confirmed, but until they get the final labs back. So we're looking at 52 people probably through the beginning of September.
Oh, that's horrible.
Have died over, some sort of a mixture of drugs, alcohol. And so last year, in 2018, there were 46, which is horrible. But the year before that, in 2017, we had 94 people Butler die. So this is very serious, very serious. And the people who are suffering the most probably are the families. They're losing their loved ones and their children.
And is there support available for the families? I know we had talked about there's a group available at the Butler YMCA that they can
there is.
Participate in. It's never too late to reach out for help and to reach out to you and to reach out to your staff.
Never too late. And never feel any sort of way about calling us, because I talk to parents all day long here. And I talk to people who are struggling. But the biggest problem with the spike in overdose is the lack of support for people who are, especially early in recovery. Their AA and NA meetings have shut down because the churches, are not hosting groups. So there have been 6-7 months of very significant cuts in support groups for people. They're still not back. There's very few coming. They're still coming back very slowly. But as far as the family goes, I have a really big soft spot for what they go through. I mean, it's just so hard to listen to a parent who, there's nothing that's going to bring them any, any like relief from what they're feeling. And we offer at the Gaiser Center, we offer at the YMCA. In fact, it is tonight, Thursday nights at 6:00 from 6 to 7:30. It's at the YMCA. We have a private room. And we send a couple of our staff down, and it's free. We send our clinical supervisor who has extensive knowledge in drug and alcohol, plus other staff members that work here. So we we send our admissions people down to help families understand, how do you even get started on this? Who do we call?
Right, where to get started.
Yeah, what kind of insurance covers this? Like, they don't even know where to begin. So we send people down to, the whole focus is on education for the families, like helping them understand addictions and stuff like that. So it is tonight. It's every Thursday. It is from 6 to 7:30. We have a nice core group of family members that go every week. We often provide snacks, sometimes pizza. It is free. There's childcare for children under 7 or 8 years old, right at the YMCA. And
Okay.
it's private, it's confidential, and we
It's
have
very
it off-site.
necessary and very,
Yeah, we have it off-site so that people don't want to walk into a drug and alcohol facility because the stigma. So we do that, and we've been doing this like our third year, and we always have quite a few down there. So it's nice.
Well, that's great that you're meeting people where they are and, being accommodating to them in every way that you possibly can.
We try.
I think you're doing a great job. And I want to thank you for being on the show and telling us about your support group. I think it's fantastic, and it's something that is very necessary right now. Linda, thanks so much for being on the show tonight.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
We'll see you next time on the Butler Buzz.